Thank you for your kind introduction. Good afternoon. Actually, this is my first visit in Mumbai, the beautiful place. So anyway, the congratulations on the great success of the Spectrum in India. And also I'm very honored to be invited as an Oration speaker. But fortunately, my talk is very easy. Please relax. There is no table, no PBR. Please enjoy. Anyway, it is very nice to meet my Indian colleagues, including Dr. Chaturvedi and Kulkarni. My topic today is liver ablation, past and present and future. Maybe all of you in this room already knows very well, but I'd like to summarize as much as I can. This is a key slide, the final message. Our past was innovative. Our present is a sound positioning in treatment guideline. Our future is very promising. So I'd like to divide my talk past and present and the future. I would say we were brave. Our trial was really innovative. Liver ablation is a non-surgical treatment used to destroy and eliminate tumors in the liver, particularly HCC or metastasis. This procedure involves using the heat and cold and electric energy. There are so many weapons in our hands, it is very hard to define the exact year for initial development, but roughly more than 50 years ago, there are so many trials from cryo to ILE. Let me introduce briefly the history of Korean liver ablation. Fortunately, I had a chance to study in the United States in 1999 under supervision of Dr. Dodd. At that time, the clinical trial of radiofrequency ablation just started in the state. I observed 72 clinical cases for 2 years. At the end of my stay, I had a chance to perform the radiofrequency ablation for USA patient. It's a very special picture. After coming back to the Korea, I started ablation in 1999 in March. I prepared the many permission document like this, and also I have to make the procedure code in the hospital. And also I published a review paper in Korean journal. This is the first RFA in Samsung Medical Center, 1999, April 28. Another Professor Lim was performed. Just next day, I tried the second RFA in my hospital, Hanyang University Hospital. But as you can see, I was quite stupid. The initial case is 4 centimeters, even cholangiocarcinoma recurrent tumor. You can see the abscess complication. This is an unforgettable case. Anyway, from 1999, we started the Korean Society of Image-Guided Tumor Ablation. So we cooperated with each other, we learned each other. And then, based on this activity, we initiated Asian Society of Tumor Ablation, so-called ASTA, or ACTA Conference on Tumor Ablation. We started first meeting in Taiwan in 2014, and then Fukuoka, Japan, Seoul, Korea, Guangzhou, China, and Chennai, India, and Chiayi, Taiwan, Tokyo, and Seoul again, in Guangzhou, and China, and this year, Bali, in Indonesia. Maybe you know very well, the ablation, local regional treatment was developed in Asian countries. You can see ethanol injection, microwave, and TACE was developed from Japan and Asia. It was quite innovative. Moving on to the present, what is the current status of tumor liver ablation? Thanks to your devotion to making the evidence, the ablation is accepted one of the curative treatment for very early and early stage HCC in the most treatment guidelines. According to the review paper by Dr. Liang Peng, almost half of papers were published from Asian countries, including ACTA founding countries, China and Japan and Korea. This is Framer's BCLC guideline. As you can see, in 2022 revised version, ablation finally survived as a curative treatment option, comparable to surgical resection for early stage HCC. Other treatment guidelines, you can see ablation, the clearly seen in each box for early HCC. So I would say current state is a sound positioning in treatment guidelines. That means ablation is a reliable method compared to surgical resection. Ablation is the best player for all HCC who knows its pros and cons. I think everybody will agree. And also, recently, the Martin is there, the collision study group proved the ablation is also definitely good method comparable to surgical resection. Maybe he can talk about in the following talk. So in summary, I think local tumor progression rate is usually less than 10% recently. Major complication rate, less than 2%. Even many institutions, mortality zero procedure. So what about the ablation energy source? Microwave ablation is the main ablation option due to better tumor control, but still needs more evidence for survival benefit compared to radiofrequency ablation. That's why in Korea, in our center also, still radiofrequency ablation is the main ablation modality. That's quite different from Western country. Because at the moment, there was no definite evidence proving the survival benefit of microwave ablation over radiofrequency ablation. And also in Korea, we have multiple electrode. Which one is better? Which energy is better? This is a really long standing question in many conferences for 20 years, but at the moment, we don't have any definite answer. So I think it is time to move this old-fashioned question to how to use in a right way. This is my recipe for HCC ablation. As we all know, tumor location, tumor size, and tumor location, and tumor conspicuity is a very important factor for local tumor control. Recently, I found the exit of tumor is very important to select applicator, even the energy source. So if a tumor shows meet the 4 criteria, exit, conspicuous, and safe, I use the single microwave, but any criteria doesn't meet, at that time I use the multiple RF electrode. I prepared a 2 case, maybe you can understand. Conspicuous tumor with the exit at safe location. So when do I use a single ablation? Because there is an exit and lesion is clear, and size is small, and conspicuous. That's why I chose single microwave ablation. Try to insert real central core of a tumor is really important, even if you are using the microwave. We should take time in this insertion, more than 5 minutes I recommend, very important. And then we can use the ultrasound marker, the tumor boundary and ablation target boundary, including ablative margin. So close monitoring during whole procedure is very important. After 4 minutes later, there is no bleeding. Actually, almost no wound. Really minimally invasive compared to even laparoscopy. So surgical resection. So pre-ablation MRI, and after post-ablation CT, you can see 5 successful ablation joint without any complication in just 4 minutes. This is the 3 recurrent HCC with poor liver function. 1 tumor has an inconspicuous, 2 tumor has a no exit. That's why I don't use microwave. I chose multiple radiofrequency ablation. You can see how I do ablation. So I choose the multiple octopus RF electrode, so-called no-touch technique, because the lesion was inconspicuous. First electrode inserted at the medial margin of the tumor, like that. And the second electrode, a little bit inferior lateral margin of the tumor. And we have to check the inter-electrode distance. This is the third electrode, a little bit superior lateral margin of the tumor. And then, before starting the tumor, checking the tumor location finally, and start ablation. So ablation starts from the posterior margin. So we can quite sure we can achieve posterior margin. After that, ablation joint on the anterior margin, and then lateral margin. So we use the monopolar 9 minutes and plus bipolar 1 minutes. We are calling this kind of approach the centripetal ablation, hemangioma-like ablation, no-touch ablation. And then track ablation. There is no bleeding. And then moving the second tumor, relatively central area. There is a little, very shallow posterior margin exit, but you can see there is a big vessel, portal vein, so I don't use microwave. I use the 2 electrodes for this case. Insert the medial margin, and another one is the lateral margin of the tumor, like a chopstick technique. And then ablate for probably 6 minutes. 6 minutes monopolar ablation. After that, add 1 more bipolar ablation to decrease the waste of each ablation joint. Just 7 minutes compared to 5 minutes microwave. I think we can compare. 2 minutes is not so much important. And then moving the third tumor, quite sticky tumor, subcapsular, a little bit exophytic tumor. It's a very difficult case. So in this case, I also use the 2 electrode, but ablation times definitely short. Just 4 minutes was enough. The ascites is not artificial ascites. This is a natural ascites for patient because of poor liver function. After that, we need 3 bandages. Almost no bleeding. Definitely minimally invasive compared to surgical resection. After that, CT, you can see the quite optimal ablation joint, and first one, second one, and third one. So I think the ablation is a good player for unresectable recurrent HCC with poor liver function compared to other many alternatives. I would say fusion and contrast lens ultrasound and artificial fluid is already standard, is a non-new standard technique in ultrasound guided ablation in most Asian countries. However, recently, tumor aggressiveness is a very important factor to make a plan for complete ablation, so-called microvascular invasion. We can find an MRI finding. So as you can see, the result was quite different. So according to the tumor aggressiveness, we need to make a strategy, tailor-made ablation strategy. For example, if a tumor is small and well-defined, and no microvascular invasion and low alpha protein, we can easily ablate a tumor with a 1 or 2 electrode like that. However, if a tumor is larger and ill-defined and microvascular invasion positive or high tumor marker, at that time we have to switch more strong weapon, even including the radiation therapy. So moving on the future, what will be our future? I think this part is actually very difficult for me. Now, one new development are emerging, although many innovative approaches have been attempted over the years. However, only few have been commercialized. However, this attempt consistently point to the direction of our future, so we should pay attention to them. In fact, there are so many new developments, but it is impossible to cover them in this short lecture. So I kindly ask your understanding as I introduce them in more general way. What are coming in the ablation? I can summarize 3 things. First, precise ablation. Second, new energy source. Third, immunoablation. Maybe today we talked a lot. Precise ablation is the utmost important to achieve the tumor control, including ablative margin, covering the satellite tumor. And also many attempts has been made to use novel software for accurate placement of applicator and more objective assessment of tumor ablative margin. However, unfortunately, no software has not yet become as standardized as Fusion or CUS. The reason for this might be that none of this software has provided evidence that is significantly contribute to improved survival. This is one famous software provided by New Wave. It's a confirmation software, but basically using the CT values. And also we can use the augmented reality. There are a couple of papers and research. Unfortunately, Brad Wood maybe cover this topic in his following lectures. We are very lucky. And also, one Swiss group published many papers regarding stereotactic, and they evaluated the minimal ablative margin is very important for local tumor control after thermal ablation. And also, artificial intelligence and machine learning is definitely the potential in more precise ablation, including the radiomics and artificial intelligence. We can predict the tumor response after the ablation using this kind of big data, but still there are so long way to go to achieve the real benefit regarding the survival benefit beyond the local tumor control. That is a big problem. That's why many trials are ongoing, but still in practical field, still in infancy state. We will see. For 30 years, we are looking for the more powerful energy source and more safe ablation source. For the tumor with high-risk location, cryoablation and ILE already are proven to provide a better safe ablation for liver with high-risk location. However, cryoablation still need a long procedure time, and ILE is still very expensive in Asian countries. That's the only problem. Anyway, definitely safe ablation source compared to thermal ablation, especially for hilar tumor. The new kids on the block in tumor ablation is the histotripsy. As you may know well, histotripsy uses pulse sound waves to induce bubble pulse from gases naturally present in the target tissue. These bubble clouds form and collapse in a microsecond and creating the mechanical forces strong enough to destroy the tissue. So this is actually non-invasive and non-thermal method. They're quite different from conventional HIFU technology. Immunoablation. We all know that the local regional treatment can induce the anti-tumoral immunogenicity. There are so many basic studies, but the result is quite chaos. But still, it is very hard to applicate in our clinical practice. Thanks to the recent success of TKI and ICI study, so there are so many studies ongoing, adjuvant immunotherapy after local regional treatment. And representatively, the recently IMBRAVE 050 was an interim result was quite promising, but the final result failed. But anyway, there were definitely the potential, the combination therapy, ablation with immunotherapy. Local regional treatment plus immunotherapy, there are so many studies that are ongoing. Immunoablation definitely has a potential, promising, but there are many issues how to combine and what is the best candidate for combined treatment. What about the cost effectiveness? So we need to solve maybe in coming 10 years. So what about the future? I can summarize a couple of things. First, smart selection by refined indication based on AI-based precision. And secondly, development of the accurate and optimal ablation, such as robotics. And third, compete with other local regional treatment, including TARE and PET near the future. And to find the best indication for immunoablation, this should be our test. And finally, cost effectiveness should not be neglected. Okay, there are so many new in front of us, but as you know well, in our future, only a really minor part should be the future. We should wait. Though our past was innovative, our current status is a sound positioning treatment guideline. Our future, as I mentioned, are definitely promising. The past, innovative, present, sound positioning, and future is promising. Okay, this is our position, sound positioning. Most treatment guideline, we have 2 room ablation. So it is very important to expand our territory, but I think, in my opinion, it is more important within the box. We should trace the more deep ablation. Really accurate and optimal ablation is much more important. Like that. Every tent has a different spectrum. Okay? So we should hit the real central core of the target. Is very important. Thank you for your attention.